What's going on, Blues? Welcome back to Life as an Evertonian. Blues, subscribe to the channel. If you haven't done so already, click that bell to turn on post notifications so you'll be notified every time we upload a video. This is our final summary of the game yesterday. The appalling result, appalling performance, the lacklustre performance, the 4-2 defeat at home to Brentford. Obviously, I've calmed down. Um, it was a bit of a rant yesterday. It was a lot of a rant. I just thought yesterday, listen, Blues, I know the numbers are short. We've got injuries. We've got players off at the AFCON. Kieran Dewsbury-Hall, Iliman Ndiaye, a lot of those type of players who create a lot for us. Um, Defensively, though, yesterday, we were shocking. And I stated David Moyes got it wrong. A lot of Evertonians feel he got it wrong. He got the selection wrong. Why change the defence from how they played against Forest? But I'm telling you now, like, obviously King came back in. Jake O'Brien reverted again back to the right back position, where I'm just sick of seeing now it's run its course. I said it yesterday. I feel like I'm a stuck record coming on here and saying it, and we all do. But Moisey Everton, it has run its course. It doesn't work. It did what it needed to do for a period of time. Um, but, it is becoming such a dejected feeling when you see that lineup when it reverts back. Um, and we're worried when I saw Nathan Patterson featuring starting his first game this season against Forest. But what a galvanised display. And listen, I'll go on record and I'll say it on here now. You only need to go back to the video. I said that was James Tarkowski's best game this season. But I'll go as far as saying yesterday was the worst I've seen him play. And to absolutely berate, absolutely drill Timmy Raburam. He's meant to be our team captain. Him for Seamus Coleman. He's our team captain and he's absolutely destroying a young lad for what? He's passed him the ball in an area where he's got multiple players around him. He had two players on him. He wasn't ready to receive it. And if you look at Tarkowski, when the Brentford player was brought down, for a period, Tarky was looking the opposite way. And then he's looked back at the play. He's received the ball and he's played this panic pass when it should have just been turfed up the pitch, down the channel. Maybe he could have switched onto his left and played it down the left-hand side to open up the play. It was an appalling display for Tarky. It really were. And listen, Michael Keane weren't fit, and those changes shouldn't have been made, Blues. And we find ourselves scratching our heads. We find ourselves such in a positive frame of mind from the Forest fixture. And it is a case of, right, can Everton crack on? Can we move up a level? Can we go up a level? Can we go and showcase what we did against Forest, but add a little bit more invention? Can we create a little bit more with these players that we've got? Can we grab a goal early and hold on to it and show that solidarity in that defensive shape? No. We're giving teams an head start at the Hill Dickinson game after game. And we're not creating enough from home. I know we've had some decent results, the Forest, Palace, Brighton. But we have had 4 losses, a couple of draws. But we have leaked a lot of goals recently. Tottenham, Newcastle, Brentford yesterday. The game was so easy for Brentford Blues. It really were. Dwight McNeil It's a tough one. I hate slating players. I don't like doing it. And we are where we are. And we've got the squad that we've got. But we're in this window and we need to be active, boys. And listen, there's improvements. We know there is, but there's only improvements when we've got the likes of Keenan Dewsbury, and I think we can identify and we know for a fact how much he vastly improves as that lad. So good. So good. And we need to build on him, on that ilk of player. We need multiple Kieran Dewsbury Halls. We need a couple of more Illumin NGIs in a different capacity, in a different element of player, but at the level that they're playing at. Jimmy Gardner, for me, is by far the best player that we've got this season in terms of consistency. He's there week in, week out, playing the same kind of performance, doing the dirty stuff, running the miles, tracking his men, getting the tackles in, coming up with assists, distributing the ball well, working so hard for the team. Can play right back if needed. He is probably the best right back at our club currently, as well as the best centre mid. So the numbers need to come in, Blues. And again, we are all becoming a little bit of a stuck record with it. And we're not too far away. And I said it yesterday. I like to try and find some positives from the game because it was a cold one. It was a woeful display. Um, I had this conversation with one of my mates, and he even said to me today in a message, I nearly left at 3-0 down. I nearly went. And my son looked at me and he was like, Dad, are we? I'm like, no, we don't go. We stay. That's what we choose to do. Um, you suck it in, don't you? You take it, you stand there and you try and give that support. And obviously we got a goal back. And we had a bit of time when we got that goal, but Brentford were just so on it. They were so at it. They were doing they had half a yard on us every time. They were first to the ball. The work rate was there. They were good on the ball. The striker is immense. Um, really, really good striker. He's having such a fantastic season. I think he's got 14 goals now this season. But it was good to see Barry get another. That's back-to-back games with a goal. It was good to see that delivery from Jack Grealish on both occasions, 2 assists. That's 6 for the season. Um, the lad tried. He did. He tried yesterday. Um, and a good assist, obviously, for the first one for Beto. But I guess we need to see more from him whipping balls into the box. And we know it's difficult. If you can't replicate a player who plays in the fullback area, who listen, I'm not saying replicate in terms of being like Jack Grealish, but a player who is confident in the final third, who can do the defensive stuff, who can keep the shape, who can overlap and can time his runs. But he's going to struggle. His game isn't going to be as good, you know. Um, and on both sides, left back and right back, and it's harsh on Jake because he's a centre half. He's a centre half, as simple as that. And that lad should have played at centre half yesterday, Michael Keane. He weren't right. He weren't right at all. He wasn't. Well, he shouldn't have changed it. Um, and obviously bringing on. I understand why he brought on Beto and played it like as a two. Barry were pulling off out wide, but he were doing that in the game against Forest. I think he's been trying to add that to his game. A lot what Romelu Lukaku used to do. Um, but there was just so much wrong with that performance yesterday. Tyler Diblin had a quiet game, got hurled off at half time. Dwight McNeil as a number 10 doesn't offer enough in workload in the midfield, helping the midfield. He's got legs in terms of he's got legs in terms of fitness, but he hasn't got speed. He lacks speed, and I'm not going to say work rate because he does obviously try, but his just levels aren't there, boys. They're just not there. Um, and when I look at like Pickford's performance, um, I don't think his kicking is as good as it has been. Do you know what I mean? But it just seems to go from Jake O'Brien to Tarks to Keane to Mikalenko. Then Mikalenko seems to chop back inside and plays it again. It's just so negative. And when I think of what Nathan Patterson tried to do against Forest, he tried to play give and goes, create triangles of giving it and going and moving into the space because he is attack minded, and the balance just improves with a defensive fullback, but with an attacking minded fullback who's confident, who can get up the pitch and whip balls into the box. Good deliveries. Um, I don't like mentioning this, but I saw the delivery from Frimpong from Liverpool, just as I was leaving the ground. Fantastic strike as well from Fulham to make it 2-2. But that delivery that lad put in from that, he gets himself up the pitch and he's almost like a winger. That's what we need. We have to find some fullbacks in this window. Everton need to get active in this window. We're 5 days into it. It's 25 days to go. And there's been teams already that have been active who need players. Palace, West Ham. And we certainly do. We're going to probably be still without Idrissa Gana Gueye and Iliman Ndiaye for another, I'd say, 3 games. Probably make the Villa game. We just have to get through this period, boys. And obviously, we're going to move on to the Wolverhampton Wanderers game. I'll be doing my pre-match preview of that tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. It ain't going to be easy, boys. They've had a really good result. And I think slowly but surely you've seen Wolverhampton Wanderers' performances improving. They're been getting a little bit better week in, week out. And they got the result against West Ham. They are struggling, West Ham. Really are struggling. So, Blues, let me know your thoughts. I hate being negative. I do. It's not me, but I just say it as I see it. I don't like calling players, but Tarky did it. He wound me up yesterday. It really did wind me up. I think it's just how he reacted at Timmy Raburum from his mistake. I was shouting at Tarky that much. Do you know when you feel like your throat's bleeding inside? I was, yeah, effing and jeffing back at Tarky. Obviously, he's not going to hear me, but you just do it, don't you? You just, what the, talking about. So, Timmy Raburum tried, Jimmy Gardner tried. It just weren't meant to be. I don't think they were getting enough support from Dwight. We should have kept Merlin Rolling there as that 10. Moyes has got these decisions to make and he's got to bloody learn from these mistakes because we all make them. And, for Moyes, it feels like a safe bet. Nathan Patterson, he played 60 minutes, 65 minutes, whatever it were. Can he do it again? He's been out for such a long time. Let's just go back to Jake O'Brien at right back. He'll do a job there. Keep us solid and Mikalenko keep us solid. And we'll hope that Jack can unlock something. And obviously, as soon as Everton go down, I don't know. It just seems to be a knock-on effect at the Hill Dickinson. We just struggle. and it were abysmal. It really, really were a poor day. I was glad to get home in the end because I've been up. We were up at 7:30, me and Jude. He had a goalkeeping session with one of his pals. Uh, he's actually in Everton's academy as a goalkeeper under nines, Deakin. One for the future Blues. Trust me, he is unbelievable. Everton's goalkeeper got signed last year. He played for the same team as Jude for 3 years. Always like played a year up. Um, I think he's just turned 9 now, so he is in the under nines. Jude plays under 10s, and Jude's been having a bash at playing in the net recently, and he's good. He's decent. So obviously gets to train with him and his dad and that. So we were up early. It was frostbitten and we were cold, but we were up there up at Roman Road over in Blackburn, and we trained until like 10:30, and then we set off to obviously the Hill Dickinson Stadium. Obviously, it's always a good day. Of course, it is. I love spending time with you, going to watch Everton and stuff, and getting your food and your drinks and the build up in the lounge and stuff and the Trinity Bar. It's awesome. It's brilliant. The stadium, it's just ace. But when you see a performance like that, it's not good. Do you know what I mean? But it happens. It's the game. It's the game that we love. Um, there is ups and downs. Everton are on this roller coaster. I've stated this numerous times. The squad needs to improve. It's as simple as that, boys. It needs to improve, and you know we have to identify and we see as fans who is capable of stepping up and who isn't. We know that, and Moyes has got to know that. But I guess it's a difficult job, boy. It is. It's difficult. Sometimes you can see why he's decided to do that, but when it doesn't pay off, then we're jumping down his neck. Do you know what I mean? It is hard being a professional footballer. It's hard. It's a tough game, but can't make excuses. Do you know what I mean? Brentford, they're a club who are punching above the weight. You know, you look at the scale of Brentford to us, they've got a 17,000 seat stadium that they don't fill. We've got, 53,000, whatever it is, and we're selling out near enough. The scale of Everton is bigger. But, by far they were the better team yesterday. And, they're better than us this season. And the striker is doing its thing. And Keith Andrews, who I know personally. Well, I did at my time at Blackburn Rovers. And to be fair to that lad, when he were a player, he was, listen, he was a lad who was like on it in terms of punctuality. They're like thirst, working hard, the training ground, in the gym, proper pro, proper professional, last out, that type of mentality, proper headstrong, work ethics there, really, really, and that is why he's doing so well as manager. Just cut out for it. You know what I mean? He's willing to put the graft in, and yeah, I just thought I'd add that. So, boys, I'm going to leave this one there. Subscribe to the channel. Again, if you haven't done so already, click that bell to turn on post notifications. Our channel is building, it's growing all the time. Thank you so much for your support. When you like the video, there's a thing underneath where you can hype it, and it just helps the algorithms and it helps the channel build and grow. So if you could do that for us, I'd appreciate that as well. All the links are below to all my social medias, pages. Feel free to, connect with me on there. We've got a brand new Facebook page as well. So I'll go and check that out as well. Up the toffees, and I'll see you in the next one.